Alrighty, go ahead and turn to a new page. We're going to be titling this section Male Anatomy. So just like we did with the female anatomy, we're going to learn some definitions for the male anatomy. Alrighty, starting off, just going to clear the air again. I know this can be kind of funny or not so serious and kind of maybe a little uncomfortable. So if you have questions, raise your hand. I'll also answer questions at the end of this lesson, but let's try to keep the giggling down to a minimum so we can get through this and move on to our project after this, okay, or activity. Beautiful. Starting off with our first word and our definition. So our first one is the penis, okay? The penis is the male organ for sexual intercourse. It contains many sensitive nerve endings, and it consists of 3 different parts. The first part is the root, the second is the body, which is also considered the shaft, and the third is the glans, which is also known as the head. Alrighty, on this image, it's going to be this section right here, okay? That is the penis. Alright, I'll give you guys about 5 more seconds to jot this down before I move on. Alrighty, moving on to the testicles. You can abbreviate this as testes. You'll hear them interchangeably called testicles or testes. It's the same. So your testicles are oval-shaped organs that lie in your scrotum. Scrotum is going to be a word we learn here in a little bit, okay? Your testes are about the size of 2 large olives. So about that size for you guys, okay? This is what the inside of a testy looks like. So this is blown up, okay? Most people are going to have 2 testicles, one on the left and one on the right side of your scrotum, okay? The spermatic cord, right here, that's what holds your testicles in place and supplies them with blood. So your testicles make testosterone and they also produce the sperm, okay? Any questions on that? Alrighty. 5 more seconds. Cool. Next one is the urethra. So your urethra is going to be this tube right here on this image, okay? So your urethra is the tube that carries your pee from your bladder outside of your body, okay? So that whole tube, this here is your bladder, carries all the way out. This is the same tube that also is going to be the tube that is there for ejaculating semen. So we just talked about your testicles and how they produce sperm. So your sperm's gonna travel all the way down this tube out. Okay? Awesome. We're gonna move on in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alrighty. Next one is your prostate gland. So your prostate gland is about the size of a walnut, and it surrounds the neck of the bladder and the urethra. Okay, so it's going to be right up in this area. So this here is your bladder. That's your urethra we just talked about. Right here, that's your prostate. Okay, so your prostate is it's partially muscular and partially glandular, and it has ducts that open into the prostatic portion of the urethra. Okay, so it still contributes in going out through the urethra, but it's going to contribute the prostatic portion. This is made up of 3 different lobes. You've got the center lobe, and then you have 1 on each side. Okay? The prostate gland secretes a slightly alkaline fluid that forms part of the fluid that carries sperm. Okay? So this is what contributes going out of the urethra that we just talked about. Any questions? I know that was kind of a lot. Please don't hesitate to ask questions. Alright. Your vas deferens is your next one. Okay? So this, your vas deferens, is a long muscular tube that travels from the epididymis into your pelvic cavity. So you see this right here, this blue line? That is your vas deferens. Okay, so this is the penis we talked about. Your urethra is coming here. Your prostate is right there. Okay, your testes sit right below the penis. Okay, and we're talking about this blue line right here, your vas deferens. Okay, so it's just behind your urinary bladder, and it transports the mature sperm through the urethra for ejaculation. So this is all kind of one big tube moving all the way from down here where your testes are, all the way up around your bladder, out the urethra, and down through the penis. Okay, do you guys see how we're kind of moving back? We're backtracking. Awesome. Okay, we're gonna go 5 more seconds. Okay, our last vocab word is the scrotum. Okay, so I mentioned it earlier. Does anyone remember where I mentioned your scrotum earlier? Mr. Cactus? Yes, your testicles. So your testicles are within your scrotum. So your scrotum is the loose pouch-like sac of skin that hangs behind your penis. So if we go back and we look at this image, the part that your testes are sitting in, that sac, is your scrotum. So it holds your testicles, it holds some nerves and some blood vessels. But it's that loose skin around there. Okay, 5 more seconds on this one. Alrighty, so does anyone have any questions? Alrighty, so what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna pass out this form. You guys are going to work in your groups of 3. This is a blank document. So with what we just kind of talked about, you're going to go through and you're going to try to label these boxes. You do have a word bank down here, but you're going to use your notes and what we just talked about to label which one is where. Okay? I'm going to give you guys about 5-7 minutes to work on this in your groups of 3. I'm going to walk around and I'm going to answer any questions or check on how you guys are doing. So this is going to be your groups. Okay. Alrighty, group. Do we have any questions? Good question, Chewy. So the penis is not the entire image. Where do you guys think the penis is? Remember? It's where everything kind of comes out of the body. It's the most outward part. That's right, Snowman. It's going to be that one there. That's right, Chewy. Any other questions, guys? Awesome job. I'm going to keep walking around. Raise your hand if you guys need me.